Hey, good evening, everyone. So in Module 3 this week, there's a video entitled Online Pedagogy. Dr. Roberts emphasizes that not all people are able to go back to get their degree because of their current job and where they're at, but many of them want to. So many universities now are offering these online programs that are available to these people now, and it's available to us. But there are many challenges that come with this, especially for the universities that are offering them. Dr. Schultz emphasizes these challenges in academic literacies and outcomes. There has to be a way to measure these outcomes, whether it's through analyzing, writing, describing. Uh, all of these are ways that you can measure those outcomes. And information literacy is absolutely necessary in a course like this. It's a skill that students have to develop because we will have to integrate information into technology. I do want to present two primary sources that would help enhance an American history course, even here at Liberty University. And both of these sources focus on the War of 1812 because it's not very well known, and it might be a little dry to get through for some students. So this first primary source comes from America's Historical Imprints, and it's a great example for students to use. And it's written by Matthew Carey. He wrote a book called The Olive Branch, which focuses on the ideal of harmony in a society, especially after a war. He was greatly influenced by the War of 1812. On page 11, he cites that Bonaparte, Caesar, and Cromwell are terrible examples of harmony within a society. And then on page 12, he talks about how the Constitution perpetuates the idea of war in the United States. And while I disagree with this notion, students would be able to measure the impact it had on people in government and economics. They would be able to do so through interpreting his view, analyzing it, and describing it. So then the second primary source is written by John Boyd. He was an officer in the War of 1812. He suffered a terrible defeat, and so he actually wrote a somewhat of a mini memoir called Documents and Facts Relative to Military Events During the Late War. But this small memoir attempts to justify his actions as well as try to make him look better than he actually was. And it actually says on page 1, the exclusion of an officer under such circumstances must almost unavoidably in the mind of the public carry with it an implied censure. Whether this neglect was merited, he must leave to time the public to determine. So again, it's this attempt to bring himself out of this bad situation. But students would be able to analyze and interpret his viewpoint as well. So again, it's all about being able to measure these outcomes, how to enhance this class, whether that's through identification, describing, explaining, evaluating, demonstrating, or applying. But these are all important in an online course like American history. Thank you.